Hi, everybody. Russ on the West Ham Network. Hope you're all safe and well. It's Monday. The weekend's gone. We start again. Valentine's Day tomorrow, just in case you need to get to the garage tonight and get some get some chrysanthemums. Anyway, Hammers headlines in association with the KUMB.com boys. Lunchtime today, I did the players' ratings from the Chelsea game. 1-1 draw, 1 point gained or 2 points lost. Yeah, I think more 1 point gain now. I came out deflated at the game a little bit. I think a lot of people did when I was talking to outside the ground, walking back to the car park. And yeah, on reflection, I think it's a point gain. But let me know your thoughts. I'm sure there's people out there who thinks it's 2 points lost. And I kind of agree as well. I'm stuck on the fence as always. 3 stories for the Hammers headlines association with the KUMB.com boys. Check them out. And the first one is actually a story which was broken on KUMB. So I thought I'd give it a bit more gravitas. A bit more gravitas? No, that's the wrong word. But anyway, about Danny Krentisky, Danny K. So apparently at the weekend, he was at the game. He was at the Chelsea game and was rumoured to have held talks with the Lldc, the London Legacy Development Corporation's CEO, Lynn Garner, on Saturday. That's according to the KUMB.com boys. That's why you got to check them out because they put the latest news on there. The report claims that Krentisky wants to buy the London Stadium. And the soon-to-be dissolved Lldc, who effectively run the stadium for us, although no, we are their tenants, so to speak, want the cost of running it removed from the public purse. We obviously pay a very small amount and they lose a lot of money. So the idea, I think eventually always was going to be that they were going to having to give it back, so to speak. And originally, actually, we were. Don't forget, the original plan until bloody Spurs and Barry Hearn got involved was us to have the stadium. And it was only when they got involved that it went to tender and it decided to make it a public body and then us become tenants, so to speak, and UK Athletics as well. Now, the interesting thing about the Krentisky meeting is, thinking back to when PAI were coming in, apparently, they'd had a similar discussion with the Lldc about taking over the stadium. So could this be a precursor? I mean, I see it's 3 possible scenarios. One is that Lldc maybe want rid, which I think they probably do, of the stadium. 2 is it could be a precursor to a full takeover of West Ham by Danny Krentisky. Obviously, we know end of March this year is the embarrassment clause for the stadium is run out. So, it could be sold without then Mr. Sullivan handing over and obviously the Golds and Tripp and people like handing over any money back to the government because the embarrassment clause would have been gone. Or thirdly, Danny wants to buy the ground because actually the property is an investment and it could be an investment and maybe we, there's plenty of examples where someone else has bought the ground and obviously like the Lldc now is leased to us, so to speak. We have 28 days, something like 25 days use of the stadium each season, and maybe it could be a thing where maybe Krentisky sees it as a good opportunity to take it and he sets it up and West Ham are the tenants or, as part of the ownership. I don't know. It might not be because of a full takeover. It might not be. It might just be because he sees it as an investment opportunity in that it's going to be, they're looking to get rid. He could come in, buy it for a smaller percentage than he probably would have bought it, I don't know, five years ago, for example. And then he owns a stadium. I don't know. Intriguingly, also, Nizam Brown also suggests that Krentisky may have already earmarked a replacement for Moyes if he takes over, regardless of whether he keeps the club in the Premier League for another season or not. So again, maybe it is a full takeover. We don't know. In fact, it's claimed that a possible change in ownership is the reason Moyes is still in a job, with the fact that risking a prolonged hunt for a new manager like Leeds are doing at the moment with Jesse Marsh. Now, obviously, Southampton looking for a new manager. So there's 2 bottom 6 clubs looking for managers now. So there's not a plethora of probably managers who are looking to go to a bottom 6 club. So, if West Ham got rid of Moyes and there's 3 there. And so, it's for me, it wouldn't be necessarily make much sense, to be honest, at this point. Also, these are my Brown report states that former Prime Minister Boris Johnson was potentially involved in the weekend's talks as well, as he has still some involvement in the future of the stadium after his time at as Mayor of London, and initially all this was under his tenure as Mayor of London. So interesting developments maybe at the weekend. And we got a draw as well. So here we go. Moving on, let's talk about on the fields. So there's a couple of transfer rumours, stories have been broken today. One is apparently West Ham are one of two Premier League clubs chasing Arsenal winger Reiss Nelson. According to lots of reports out there, he's only made 7 appearances for the Gunners this season. 3 of them are starts. He suffered multiple injuries this season. So welcome to West Ham. He's a quality player. There's no denying it. Came off the bench. He scored twice in a 5-0 win over Nottingham Forest in October. And he's found himself down the pecking order, particularly when they've gone out and bought, Leonard Trossard from Brighton. He's further down the pecking order. His contract runs out in the summer, I believe, as well. So that's why we're looking at him. So it would be a free transfer. And Fabrizio Romano claims that 2 Premier League sides and 4 overseas clubs are interested in signing him on a free transfer. And apparently West Ham are one of those Premier League clubs. Although obviously we probably need to make sure we're still in the Premier League before we can, put any big offers in. But obviously at the moment, because of the foreign clubs, they can obviously sign a pre-contract agreement because they're outside. It'll be outside the country. So it'll be interesting to see what happens if that's, if the overseas option is something that Reiss is appealed to. We could already, be on a losing battle. But we'll wait and see. He's a London lad. He might want to stay in London. So, good player, fast, gives us an option, speed, pace. He's done well playing abroad as well. So, yeah, for a free transfer, don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And lastly, another Brazilian. We're linked to another Brazilian. Apparently, West Ham are reportedly interested in signing the Brazilian centre forward Pedro. The 25-year-old has been in fine form for Flamengo this season and was part of the World Cup squad in Qatar. According to a report from my favourite media outlet, Fajitas, West Ham are interested in signing the South American forward and he could cost in excess of £40 million at the end of the season. The player's a contract with Flamengo until the summer 2027, so they're under no pressure to sell him. Or just yet, maybe a couple of years' time, maybe. West Ham will definitely, I'd say, need at least one more forward this summer. I think, Antonio will be on his way in the summer. I can see that happening. Obviously, Ings is very much as a backup. I think Skamaka, I think you need one more with Skamaka and Ings as a third, in my opinion. And then you've got Divine as well as a fourth, maybe that's his progression going forward. Obviously, we've struggled to find the net consistently this season. That's been the problem. Not the back end, it's the front end. And so it's an area which needs addressing. And we've needed addressing it for years, really, to be honest. And Skamaka was meant to be the answer. And unfortunately, he's got the West Ham injury curse. I think he missed 5 games in his entire career or something ridiculous like that through injury. Comes to West Ham and he hasn't even played 5 games, I don't think, for us since signing. So currently Pedro has 9 goals and 2 assists across 7 appearances in all competitions this season. And he's a quality player. So again, it would be a risk. And I think that price tag, I think it might put a lot of people off because he's unproven quantity. A bit like Gabigol. Do you remember we were after Gabigol, weren't we? And there's a couple of other Brazilian players we've been after as well. And Pedro, I'd say, is slightly different than the likes of, we were interested with lots of the sort of young 18, 19-year-old Brazilian attackers. This guy is established at Flamengo. He's established, Brazilian international. But then, the draw of someone like Lucas Paqueta, he could be our little agent Paqueta, where it was always Czech players. I thought we was going to get an influx of Moroccan players. It hasn't worked. Maybe it's the Brazilian players. Maybe Agent Paqueta could help us out. Anyway, let me know what you think. And that's it. So take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble. We'll be back hopefully for news at 10. So keep an eye out for that. And as I say, go back and check out Go back and check out the ratings and disagree with everything I say. That's what you do anyway. Also tomorrow morning we'll have the next episode of Tweet All About It with Holly, so keep an eye out for that. So make sure you hit the bell notification or subscribe first, then hit the bell notification, select all, and then you don't miss any content we put out. So take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, and we'll see you guys very, very soon. Ta-ta, my friends.